First, thank you everyone for spending your time with us today. It means so much to us that you participate. It's just a great reminder. It's probably one of the best days of my year when I get to listen to the customers and a lot of our team presenting. It's just a great culmination of thoughts and ideas and leadership and use cases. So it just thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you. And now let's talk about designing the future for your organization. One thing we've learned working with all of you is that there's no such thing as a cookie cutter solution. Just listen to the last presentation, actually all day long. Think about it. What works for healthcare organizations dealing with HIPAA and it is completely different from, Yolanda working with Pearson and, student applications or what government agencies require. Sometimes they require a FedRAMP compliance. So it's, or nonprofit organizations and volunteer forms. I mean, the needs are so bespoke. And honestly, that's exactly how it should be. We built FormAssembly to flex and adapt to your specific world. And that's exactly, that's what we were made for, because we believe technology should work for you, not force you into some rigid box that doesn't fit. And that's not us, and we don't want to do that. So every audience has different expectations, and I kind of want to take a moment to talk about what about the real people behind every form submission. There are, a lot of times we're working really hard to make sure the data gets where it needs to be. And sometimes they're always, we need to also think about the people who are actually completing the forms and applications that we're building. So whether it's a patient sharing their health information, a student applying to your program, a citizen requesting services, or a volunteer for the Boston Marathon, and who is also a customer of ours, amazing work that they do. They're trusting their data with you. They're trusting you with their data. And they all have different expectations about what that experience should feel like. Our job is to help you meet them where they are, with experiences that feel secure, accessible, and frankly, easier to use. Because when people trust the process, you get better data, better completion rates, and ultimately better outcomes. That's really important to us. If you guys joined the session with the head of our security, David, he's got me thinking every time I complete a form, is this secure? Why are they asking me this question? Should I be entering this data in there? And your respondents are also asking these questions, but they can feel confident when you're using FormAssembly. And when you're using FormAssembly, you can feel confident in telling them there was somebody secure. Let's talk about where you're headed. That was kind of like, I like that question in the last session, Josh, was like, what are y'all doing? What are the trends? Let's talk about where you're headed and not just where we are today. Your organization is probably a lot like ours. We're growing, we're changing, we're evolving. We're trying to figure out, how is AI going to help us? How is it going to help you? We're all evolving in this way. You might be expanding into new markets because of it. Maybe you're dealing with more complex, sophisticated workflows, which we're perfect for. Or maybe you're just tired of juggling multiple platforms and different tools to perform one process. I heard you say, Josh, that you heard throughout the day that consolidation was a theme, and it is. Even when we're working with customers all the time, it is a theme. So our goal is to get you into that one platform. Let FormAssembly be that one platform. And we're thinking beyond, that's why we're evolving beyond forms. We're talking about integrations, approvals, document generation. How does AI help us with all of this process, e-signatures, the whole 9 yards. We're really thinking the future of FormAssembly, the future of beyond forms, the entry point. What are we doing with that data beyond the entry point? Our goal is to be your partner as you scale. Helping you consolidate everything onto one platform actually makes your life easier while keeping that data secure and compliant. All right. We're totally dedicated to your success. If you haven't noticed, we're working with Josh and everybody today. We want to help you succeed. Our mission is simple. Help you be great stewards of the data people trust you with. And here's the thing. Everyone on the team actually lives this. from how you support your processes in your department, to the products and services you provide, to implementing those services. We're all asking ourselves the same question every single day. How do we help customers succeed? And that's why you see new knowledge base articles every week. The knowledge team works so hard in giving us timely and accurate knowledge base articles. It's why we built Faye. I don't know if you attended Emily's session this morning with Ayush, but they built some groovy 80s themed forms using Faye. And Faye also helps us answer questions. We want to help you answer questions faster. It's why we offer everything from self-service courses to hands-on implementation. We're constantly evolving our resources because your success is literally our mission. It's really, really important to us. Every team member, including those in support, strive to embody this mission in their daily work. We want to meet you wherever you are in your journey. Some of you love to dive into our knowledge base and figure things out. Others need our implementation team or want our implementation team for that heavy lifting, for that, I want you guys to build out the form, you guys are the experts, or even have a consultant from our implementation team, work with you to build out your form and kind of bounce ideas off of. Maybe you want the new Academy certification and you want to kind of show off your FormAssembly chaps that you're an expert. We have it. Or maybe you just want a quick onboarding videos. This is used a lot of times when you have a new employee at your organization and you need them to get up to speed foundationally with FormAssembly. We offer videos, we offer a live person to walk you through that. We've built these pathways that work for how you work best. So wherever you need and how you learn, we're trying to offer those services. I did want to open it up to, like, if you have any ideas for how we can do this better, or you've seen someone else use AI to help you learn FormAssembly or another product better, it's something my team is always open to hearing and improving. So we do like to keep those lines of communication open with our customers. Yeah. All right. So where FormAssembly helps, I'm going to split this in two. We kind of like to look at the full equation on this front. So we help you in two big ways. Let me walk you through it. On the left-hand side here, we like to enable your teams to work more efficiently. We're all about making your life easier, automating those repetitive data processes, helping your team collaborate on content, improving your data quality so you're not dealing with poor quality data in and out. Katie from the last presentation, the panel, I heard her say, with sales information, I don't even need to go into Salesforce. So I thought that was wow. But that is so true. And FormAssembly helps you have clean data, because if you're using any sort of AI, clean data is so important. And that's where we come in to help you get that data that you need so AI is more efficient for you and your team and your company. Yeah. And think of it as removing the friction from your daily work. That's what we're doing here by enabling your team to work efficiently. Now, the other side of things is how we're helping your respondents, right? We're enhancing respondent experience. This is about the people filling out your forms. We're talking about spam prevention, so you're not drowning in junk submissions. We just released a new spam filter called Alcha, which is spectacular. If you haven't, you can add it to your forms. It's that much, improved. We love it. So take a look into that. Authentication, so the right people access the right forms, and creating branded experiences that feel trustworthy. And coming soon, intake agents that'll make the whole experience for your respondents easier and flow much better. I like to call them conversational forms. So think of a new contact us, form, or a lead intake type form. And you're just talking to them, giving them information. And that's what the future of forms are for your respondents. So keep an eye out for that. But the bottom line, we're working both sides of the equation, making your team more efficient while making sure the people you serve have a great experience. That's how you get better data and ultimately better outcomes. Yeah. All right, Josh, I'll pass it to you.
Yeah, thanks, Kat.
Yeah.
Like Kat said, we have these two areas where we see through this lens where we're engaging with your organizations and helping you both internally and externally, with your processes at the organizational level, and then for your respondents and your audiences, making it a better experience when they're giving you their data, more trustworthy experiences, helping you brand your forms, et cetera. But that's not the only place that we've been focusing. If you've been paying attention to FormAssembly over the last year, what we've really been doing is kind of chasing down those processes where, after, as we talked about in the last session, after the point of data intake, which can look relatively similar from organization to organization, it might all start with a form, but where that data goes is very different. And so we've been looking at that and chasing those experiences down and trying to make sure that FormAssembly supports the data-driven processes that your organization takes on, like document generation, like e-signature and signing. So often, your organization takes in data and needs to place it somewhere on record, right? Salesforce, your CRM, oftentimes that place of record, but oftentimes there's a need for a PDF, for some sort of digital artifact, or sometimes a paper artifact. Obviously we're more in the digitizing realm here, but we understand that, sometimes you need to print off a receipt, to mail back to perhaps a donor, to show appreciation in a nonprofit space or an alumnus. We're chasing down those processes and those experiences, and also following where your data goes across your technology ecosystem. If you've been paying attention, we've been really putting a lot of focus on our own integrations, the rebuild of our Salesforce integration specifically for workflow last year. And just over the last couple of months, we've also rebuilt some of our payment connectors that so many of you obviously rely on to collect fees and payments from customers and donations. Both PayPal and Stripe have been rejuvenated with some new features and new capabilities as they've been brought into workflow. And as we discussed in the last session, we've also introduced things like Microsoft Excel, Microsoft SharePoints, and of course our webhook connector over the last year. But it's not stopping there. In 2026, you'll see a continued focus, and we're hunting down those systems that you need reliable, robust integrations, because we know just from our last conversation with customers, but also discussions with all of you, that integration is so important to your business. It's not just a form and building a form easily. You need the data collected by that form to reliably be sent across your organization. We're going to continue to support that. And all of those processes are happening in different systems currently. And so many of you have told us, hey, my budget is smaller. My organization needs to streamline its tech stack. My team that manages our technology is smaller. We need to be able to, curtail the systems we're expected to upkeep. We need to consolidate. FormAssembly is here to help you do that, to not only consolidate all of your forms onto a single platform, but also these data processes into a single place where we can be that overlay over your system, and you can have all of your data-driven processes in a single place. And before I go, we've also been expanding. Kat mentioned David and Dan's session earlier. We've been expanding the compliances we support. The public sector is in desperate need of better data collection, better processes, better efficiency. So we're supporting public sector organizations. We've been TexRamp and FedRamp ready for quite some time. Just in the last couple of months, we've received FedRamp authorized at the high impact level environments where you can use FormAssembly, as well as DoD IL4. So for our government organizations, we want to support them as well. We're going to continue to expand that compliance and security footing. As I said, kind of alluded to earlier, we consider forms not just the entry point of data into your systems, but it's also just the beginning of where we work with your organizations. Whether it is with the integrations into your critical systems, or as we mentioned on the last session, the collaboration amongst your users at your organization. Hey, build this form. Hey, edit this form. Hey, update this field. We're continuing to expand the features and the capabilities of the FormAssembly platform to serve you there, as well as with AI agents, as we revealed earlier today. And of course, those processes that I mentioned, document generation, e-signatures, and the things that we haven't talked about today, our audit capabilities, security and governance, authorization of your forms and workflows, all of which are a part of the FormAssembly platform and all receiving focus this year.